Welcome back to part 2 of the video series on motivation theories, concepts and implications for managers. In the last video, we have discussed what motivation basically is, what is the importance of motivation from the point of a leader, from the point of a manager. We have understood that once you keep on growing inside the company, you require to have the proper understanding of motivation so that you can get not just your work done, but get work done from many of the employees who will be reporting to you probably. So in this particular video, we'll be discussing what are the various theories of motivation. Now, motivation theories, the entire stack, if you look at it, consists of 7 to 8 theories that are there, plus 3 more we'll be discussing over here. So approximately 10 theories we'll be discussing, and all these theories will be able to give you a fair idea, a rough idea of what exactly is the content of the motivation, what exactly constitute motivation. So the initial content theories basically talk about the content of motivation, what exactly constitutes, what are the key ingredients which are required so that a person can be motivated. And the second kind of theories, the process theories, will tell you how to go about it. What is contained is content theories. How to go about motivating your employees is the process theories. They give you the result oriented theories in the second part. Now, content theories were basically developed during the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, while process theories are relatively new from the 1960s onwards. So these are the entire stack of theories. We'll be covering Maslow's need hierarchy, we'll be covering Herzberg's motivational hygiene theories, we'll be covering McClelland's needs theory, we'll be covering Adolphus ERG theory, we'll be covering Room's expectancy, Adams equity, goal setting theory and reinforcement theory. So these are the various theories that we'll be discussing apart from theory X, theory Y and theory Z, which are very, very important from your examination point of view also. So moving on. Content theories, we'll be moving on with the first theory. Abraham Maslow's theory is hierarchy for needs, is the evergreen theory that any budding manager or any manager for that matter has to know. It is a must know for any particular manager. It is the favorite question that you will get asked if you are appearing for an HR interview. Even if you are appearing for any kind of a competition exam on the paper of management, Abraham Maslow's needs hierarchy theory is the simplest way of understanding motivation and is the most often question that is often repeated in the examinations. Hence, let us jump into it and just try to understand what did this psychologist, he's a psychologist, in the 1940s he gave this particular theory, hierarchy of needs. Let us just dive into it and find out what exactly is the content of this particular theory. Maslow says, basically Maslow had written a research paper on the theory of human motivation in 1943. He said that human beings have two kinds of needs. The needs can be lower order needs and higher order needs. And he also said that there can be some external needs and some intrinsic needs. Lower needs are basically, we'll be discussing it in a few whiles from now. You just hold on for a moment. And he also said that once a particular need is satisfied, they no longer motivate a man. So there are some needs when you go to a particular company, there are some needs. You go for salary, you go for getting a house. Once you get that house, beyond that particular need is no longer. Once that particular need for a house is satisfied, once you have 1 car, 2 cars, beyond that particular need for a car will diminish. Beyond that, you will be looking for some other kind of need, is what Abraham Maslow said. He also talks about the socializing and belongingness of individuals and people work in groups. If you remember in the earlier video on Hawthorne studies, we had said that Hawthorne was the first man who did Elton Mayo was the first man who tried and did a research of 10 years to find out that society, the socializing part of it, the belongingness to a particular group motivates individuals to work. It ensures that they give their 100%, it ensures that they give their better percentage of returns and better percentage of performance. So let's quickly move on to the particular diagram that he gave to make things understand. He said that any particular individual, look at the triangle part of the entire diagram that we are providing here. He said that the basic needs of the particular individual when he enters any particular company is biological and physiological needs. द बेसिक लाइफ नीड्स, रोटी कपड़ा एंड मकान हम बोल सकते हैं उसको. Basic needs of life: air, food, water, shelter, warmth, sex, sleep. So these are some of the basic needs that any individual will be having. So when you enter into a particular company, when a worker enters a particular company, the manager needs to understand that if he is not having these particular needs met, then he will not be able to perform, he will not be motivated. Imagine if somebody is not is coming to work but is not able to he did not have his breakfast, will he be able to work? No, because that's a biological and physiological need. So once that particular need is met, only then he will be able to be, you can motivate him. हिंदी में एक भजन कहते हैं, भूखे भजन ना होए गोपाला. So that is what is actually happening. If you have to feed him, you have to give him the life's basic necessities, that those are the physiological needs. So what can you give a worker who is at this particular stage of motivation? You can give him tea, coffee, snacks, soft drink, vending machines inside the company. You can keep all these things so that he will be motivated at the prime level, at the basic level. This is the starting of a particular motivation theory. Now, you can also ensure that you have appropriate working hours. Look at the right hand side. So there are some arrows which are pointing out which are the manager, what the manager can do and what the company can do so that these particular needs are satisfied. Now moving on, once these biological and physiological needs are done, the lower level needs are done, then the person moves on and says that I require some safety. Now that I have food with me, now that I have shelter on my head, I require safety. I need to be ensured that my job is constant, that I can come tomorrow to the same job and I'll be getting a salary on a regular basis. He talks at this stage during the safety needs, he talks about protection, he talks about safety, he talks about security, he talks about law and order, he talks about stability of his tenure. So what can companies do? What can managers do? At this point, if a person is stuck at this particular level of need, of motivation, you can provide health and accidental insurance which will provide him some kind of a motivation to work more, that even if I am not there, my family will be well taken care of. So he will give his 100% to the job. What you can also do is you can ensure that he gets suitable salary and allowances. Moving on to the next need is the psychological and social need. Once a person has got the biological and physiological needs, once he is ensured that now his job is stable, his family is safe, then he will move on to the next level of needs, that is psychological and social needs. At that point of time, he will feel like creating a family. He will feel like ensuring that he moves to social parties. He'll feel like being a part of the group, of the union. So he would have the requirement of family, affection, relationship, work groups in sense of trade unions, formal, informal groups inside the company. So you have to understand that human beings are social animals, and psychological and social needs will arise, but they will arise only once the basic necessities, the lower order needs that we have discussed in biological and physiological and safety, these are lower level needs. Now once all these needs have been satisfied, he will keep on moving to the higher order needs, and the psychological and social needs is a higher order need. Once you have your रोटी कपड़ा मकान मिल गया है, आपको सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी मिल गई है, तब आप जाओगे सोशल नीड्स को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए, सोसाइटी में उठना बैठना आप स्टार्ट करोगे. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट इज साइकोलॉजिकल. सो व्हाट कैन अ मैनेजर डू in this particular stage? He can organize social events involving families of employees. That is a best and quick strategy. The companies can do it. They can organize social events which take care of his family, which motivate the particular person to work more. Maybe an award ceremony where the individual worker is awarded in front of his family. He will feel valued. He will feel valued in front of his family, his relationships, and he will perform more at this particular stage. What else can you do? Create voluntary worker teams for informal creative activities. Create teams, send them on projects, send them for particular outing, include in picnics. So these are some of the things that you can do over here. Moving on, once these needs are satisfied, the worker will now expect to be esteemed. He would require esteem or status inside his life. He would want achievement, he would want status, he would want responsibility, he would want reputation. He wants a tag to his job profile now. He wants to become the vice president now, because all the basic lower level of needs have been satisfied. He is moving up. He wants a car, he wants an iPad, he wants the best quality watch in the town. He wants to show off his wealth. That is the particular stage as of now. This is the esteem needs. where he wants achievement, status and reputation for himself. The same worker who had entered with the psychological, physiological needs is now requiring a higher level need, that is the esteem need. What the management can do at this stage, they can institute awards, certificates of recognition. They can give rewards at the year end to this particular employee, and he will feel valued in front of 10,000 employees, in front of 1,000 employees, whatever the strength of the particular company is. He will feel valued. He will, because he feels valued, he will keep on working more. What can the management do? Once again, they can delegate him authority. They can give him a greater responsibility. They can make him the vice president of the company. They can make him the president of the company, depending he has the ability. And then his esteem will be satisfied. Then his need for status will be satisfied. Need for reputation will be satisfied. And once he is satisfied, he will give more to you. He will give his 100% to the company. And the last stage of this particular Maslow's theory hierarchy is self-actualization needs, where the person has achieved everything in life. He has, roti hai, kapda hai, ghar hai, society में उठना बैठना है, कार है, बंगला है, सब कुछ है उसके पास. Now what is the thing that he requires? He requires self-actualization. He requires personal growth. He wants fulfillment of his dreams. So what can the companies do at this point of time? They can encourage creativity inside him. They can impart training to him so that he can take challenging assignments. They can send him to projects which require him to realize his inner potential. What is the self-actualization? Basically is, what is the thing that you were born to do? What is the thing that you want to leave a legacy inside inside of this particular company, inside this world? People do not want to live just for 100 years. People want to live for 1,000 years. They build monuments, they build buildings, they create some good products. Those products will remain for a lifetime. And that is the self-actualization need. कि मेरा जन्म किसके लिए हुआ है, मुझे वो काम करना है, मुझे एक इंटरेस्टिंग काम करना है, मुझे समाज में बदलाव लाना है. दैट इज सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन नीड. एंड दिस इज व्हेन द कंपनीज कैन help increase. If an employee is stuck in this particular need bracket, the highest level need bracket, companies can ensure that they involve them in creative projects or give them challenging assignments which will challenge them and ensure that they help self actualize themselves. So this video once again is getting long. We'll be seeing you in the next video series, in the part 3 of this particular video series. Thank you so much.